Sorry. Shanti Vijay Jain College heartily welcomes the chief guest of the day, Mr. Madan Ravinder, Associate Director QA and BA, tagged in Private Limited. Cheers faculty members and dear students, a very pleasant morning to you all. It's a indeed beautiful day, all soaked in delighted frame of mind. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to our Prism 2021 Jesus Jain College. Welcome, sir.
Thank
A
you.
word of prayer. Okay.
Good. Sorry.
A word of prayer in the morning means a day of blessing. Prayer. Prism. The event has been named aptly just like how the prism reflects light into spectrum of colors. Our department of BISM turns into a colorful rainbow. I request our HOD, Dr. Kamal ma'am, to deliver the welcome address and read the gathering about Prism 21.
A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Guru Sri Shanti Vijay Jain College, I deem it a great pleasure to welcome you all for our INTRA Collegiate Fest Prism 2021 organized by Department of BCom Information System Management. First and foremost, I thank our Honorary Secretary Sir, Dr. Gautam Vaid, and our beloved Principal, Dr. M.K. Malati Madam, for their constant support and encouragement to conduct all events in our college. So it is indeed a great pleasure to have Mr. Madan Ravidar, Associate Director, Tagit Private Limited, as our chief guest in this morning, who has kindly consented our invitation to inaugurate this Prism 2020-21. So Mr. Madan Ravinder has completed his engineering in electrical and electronics from MGR University, and he has 17 years of experience in various multinational information technology companies across the world as QA, business analysis, and project delivery, specialized in retail banking, business banking, digital payments, enterprises, mobile solution, iOS, and Android. And he's specialized in agile methodology, quality management, requirement management, project management, and business strategy and project management. So once again, I'm happy to welcome you, sir, and thank you for honoring this occasion. And also, I welcome all faculty members and my dear students of GSS for Prism 2021. So about Prism 2021, an intra-collegiate information system management festival, develops the leadership qualities and entrepreneurial skills of students apart from their academic needs. It helps to develop a broad range of skills and knowledge needed in contemporary business environment and IT. There are about 4 events in Prism 2021, such as Let Fund the Firm. It describes about an organization. It improves the learning skill of students. Second one is mock interview. It develops the interview skill of students. Third program is Yale the Tale. It connects the image and portraying a story. It develops the communication skills of the students. Fourth one is Flash of Awareness. It is a poster making competition. It develops the creative skills of students. So I hope all the participants will enjoy the Prism 2021 for their active participation and encouragement. So thank you one and all. Thank you so much for this morning.
Okay. Now I call upon Mr. Madan Ravinder to address the gathering.
Am I audible? Am I audible, guys? Carmel, madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. Audible. We can start the session.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Good morning, one and all. Especially, it's happy to grace this occasion with and special thanks to the principal, the secretary, and your HOD, Carmel, madam, and Rishi. Thanks for that warm introduction. And unfortunately, quite are true and quite are not. So even being a student, I really know how difficult it is to come and sit on a Saturday morning and hear some boring lectures. But still, like we'll try to see how we can make it quite interesting. And so to give me a brief about myself, so I think there is a small introduction which has been given by me. I mean, especially about me. So I've been in the industry for the past 17 years, and especially with specified in IT, and predominantly I was into quality analysts, and later on I took business analysis as well, and so right now we are into I also do project management and project deliverables as well. So especially in the the initial time, I mean initially when we had the hiccup, it almost sounds like our day-to-day activities where we'll have a challenges when the customer used to call us. We'll say we are not able to hear us, our video is not visible. So half of the time we used to drag it on during that particular activity itself. So instead of speaking the actual content, but so thankfully your technical issues have been resolved within a period of time. So the main objective of this today's Prism, and what I would like to walk you through, and so it's about how digitalization is getting evolved in the last few years, and as a as a graduate, once you come out from the college, so what do you expect as some job opportunities, and what are the key skills that you require to grasp those opportunities? So I will ensure saying that most of my most of my conversation I try to do it in English, and probably I would actually expect this conversation to be more an interactive one, where you can ask me a lot of questions, and very specifically, if at all, if you want to ask in through the chat, you can do it, or you can unmute yourself, and you want to ask in English, you can do it, or you want to ask in Tamil, in a so even you can do it, and even you want to do it in Hindi, but मेरा हिंदी उतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो थोड़ा मेरा ग्रामेटिकली बहुत खराब हुआ, so तमिल में नहीं क्या करना है, क्या am I clear, guys?
Yes, sir, it's clear. Your presentation. Your
Yeah.
presentation. Yeah,
Did
it's
you see
clear.
my presentation, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, what we are planning to cover by today. So, first about me, that is something which I've just given a brief about it, and I'm very specific about mentioning about the schooling and my college because that is where I built my foundation. So, I studied in Don Bosco High Secondary School here in Perambur, and I did my college in MGR University. The college name was initially called Rajarajeshwari University. I mean Rajarajeshwari Engineering College, which then later on migrated to it. So the reason why I'm specific about these two parts, in my presentation, because that is where I learned what knowledge is all about, what wisdom is all about. So, and that's a specific reason why I want to highlight to you at any given point of time in your career or in your life, you should always look back at the school what you have studied and also the college where what you have studied. So, because that is the time, that is a place where you get the most of the knowledge which you will get carried over your life. Okay. So what's the topic for the day? We are going to just have a brief about how digitalization evolved in the last 200 years, how COVID has changed our life, how digitalization helped during COVID, and what are your technical opportunities what you have, your non-technical skills required, and
Excuse me,
why.
sir. Can you maximize your screen, sir?
Actually, I'm
Full screen.
no, it's in full screen only.
Oh. Okay, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay, is
Okay.
it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, and where and post this conversation, there'll be a lot of questions would be running through your mind. So you may be thinking, where do you start, and how you have to be a lifelong learner. What are the few examples which I can tell you in either what all I mean, as I always rely upon girl power. Reason behind, I have two daughters, and also being along with two females within my family, I really know what a female can do, what are the capabilities are, and what is your talent and potential that you can unearth so that you can take yourself to the next level. And what's the overall takeaway? So now to start with, how digitalization evolved. Now, for example, during the 1780s, that is during the 1790s, that is when people have started very very small missionaries. Like for example, either like if you're going to take the water from the well, they used to create the pulleys, and then very very small kind of industries where they made their tools, how we can make it things simple. And then during your 1800s, that is where your industry revolution came. People started to create cars, science have become more prominent. That is when lights, light, current, I mean the electricity have been electricity has been invented. And then the production slowly started evolving. And then during the years of 1970s, especially people started to focus more on automation. And for example, while doing your car, while manufacturing a car, how especially how especially the robotics play a key role and so on. So that is how things have got evolved over a period of time. And right now, if you see, the very prominent options have been given to it, how we are able to communicate or how we are able to run a business through virtually. Because especially in the last 2 years after COVID had an impact. And even as a matter of fact, I am one of the example of it. So for the last 2 years I've been working from home, but still I need to interact with my team, interact with my managers, interact with my peers, and interact with my customers as well. But having said that, that has always been a challenge. You will not have the same amount of impact what do we do with the face to face interaction. But still, it is, you can still run the show. So that is the idea behind how things have evolved from the early 1700s to till today. Now, let's move on to the next one. How COVID impacted our life. So, there are a lot of job losses. That is something which we all know. There is a business impact. For example, I can give you a prime example. There is a van driver who actually takes my kids to the school, and then he actually drops them, and then he actually gets them back to home as well. And if you see in the last 2 years, since they are also getting to the online classes, you can imagine he does not have. I mean, there is no life for him. I mean, there is no way that he has to find out some other way. And so eventually, there are almost 10 people where we have been paying around 5,000 rupees in a month. So it is almost around 50,000 rupees that normally the van driver used to get. Now either the school van drivers, or especially if you see the the share auto walas, or the business, or what normally it used to happen in the past, nothing seems to be the same. And then the third one is a loss of physical interaction. What does it mean? So even we love, right now we have been working within the team that we used to discuss, most of the discussions are happening over the calls. And to be very honest, it's a very very painful job. It is not as easy that as you do a face to face interaction. So the way how you communicate so even if you see through a video call, if your loved ones, or if your the key person where you want to communicate, it's through physical mode, then it's very difficult, right? So that's exactly the point. And then wearing masks and washing hands, using sanitizer, so these are become quite normal. And after COVID, almost everything under the globe is being digitalized. Everything under the globe which has been planned to be digitalized. So just wait 1 minute. Madam, you are able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So almost everything under the globe has been digitalized, and because the reason behind, no one has thought how COVID will have such a big impact, and being virtually, how to run the business, either in terms of, it could be a healthcare, or either in terms of your IT, or either in terms of banking, or either in terms of shopping. Everything has been planned to be digitalized. So now, even if there are actually instances where people actually thought, okay, so let's try to do the digitalization almost around after 3 or 4 years. Right now, that is the need of the hour. Either it could be your online classes, or it could be your uh, it could be your Zumba classes, and anything and everything has become online now. So now, what are the key segments which had an impact? Your healthcare, for example, in how the healthcare industry have changed. Now you are able to see a lot of video consultation which has been happening. How your real estate has is been evolved. Now, right now, people can buy a piece of land sitting almost around 20,000 miles away by just seeing it through a video conference. I mean, seeing it through a video, right? And they can actually do the booking, and they can complete the registrations as well. And your manufacturing industry, now there is a possibility that you can operate a motor, or for example, how normally the farming used to be done in the past. We used to have at least 10 or 15 people to go switch on the motor, ensure saying that the water is getting flown through the farming. So right now, with a touch of a button, you can actually operate the motor sitting somewhere or almost around 500 or 1000 kilometers away, and then you can stop the motor as well. So that is the level of digitalization which has brought in. And the retail, your e-commerce, I mean, no need to say about that. You all may be aware, how to put an order in an Amazon or Flipkart, and how to purchase it, and how to ensure saying that your dad's pocket has been taken away. So everything which has been there in the retail part. And your financial services, especially your banking, your lending, your loans, everything has become online. So now, your video consultation becomes a new norm. So what do we mean by that? For example, you sit on the you sit at home, you set up an appointment with the doctor. The doctor consults you, either in terms of symptoms. If something he wants to see, if he wants to see in terms of either it could be a skin issue, or it could be something which is related to your anything which is a normal kind of activities that you're supposed to interact with the doctor, and saying what are the symptoms, what do you have. So I mean, everything has evolved, right? Things have changed. And this is one example what I want to put, where at that point of time, during the Three Idiots movie, using, even though if you have electricity, even though if you have your internet connection, the point is, if you don't have a Skype in place, that you cannot do that communication, right? So that is where your digitalization really helps. So now to give a clear example, the app, either it could be a Skype or a WhatsApp, so that is the output of your digitalization, right? And now, what are the other digital streams? What do you have? Needless to say, like we keep on ordering foods using Swiggy's and Zomatos, and then we do online shopping, like identifying sarees and stuff, and then we purchase things in Flipkart and Amazons, and then especially with your OTTs, like we watch Netflix series, we watch Disney Hotstars, and that's everything. All the streams have been digitalized. Now, one thing which all none of us don't like, of course, even I don't like, because of the timeline what has been taken by my kids. I mean, it's very tough to be on an online classes for sure. And right now, if you see, so previously people used to do through your uh, Google Meets and so on. And right now there are exclusive apps have been built for us. And for example, very specifically, there are applications which are built to do your online classes and your social media marketing. Now, guys, if you can just recollect, and whenever you do a search in Google or somewhere down the line in YouTube, like if you search for something, or if you do any specific videos in your Facebook, for example, if you're searching for a specific, about an actor or related to an actress, or specifically that if you have been searching for an organic farming and so on, you will find all the videos related to that particular option. The subsequent videos, what all you'll be able to see. For example, I can just give an example, like if at all, if you are going to search for something which is related to a Rajinikanth or a Shah Rukh Khan's movie, so that then all the related videos which is going to come next to you, I mean, will be related to your Shah Rukh Khan or Rajinikanth. So how this happens? Like people, the application has been built in such a way that it understands what is your need is, and then further it gets through your intelligence. I mean, through its intelligence, and then it identifies what is the next video it has to put in, and then based on your digital marketing. So now in YouTube, like previously normally used to have a skip button. Now they are actually forcing you to see an ad, that you have to see an ad for at least 10 seconds. Of course, like they are doing their own marketing strategy. It is not everyone used to get every ad, right? Like as and when you do a search, for example, if you are a student, normally it is based on your profile, based on your your interest. Whatever ad is to be displayed, it's based on the intelligence of that specific application. So now, for you, will be very specifically like what exactly it's going to be next, not a Netflix series which is going to come in, or something which is related to your higher studies, or something which you may be interested in shopping. This you have actually searched in your Google, or you have done an activity in your Facebook. Now, how that particular advertisement is getting reflected on YouTube, that is where your artificial intelligence comes into place. And then this is a digital banking. This is something which my bread and butter. For example, we do transactions right now. So previously it used to have, I think most of you may can recollect your, especially not your parents, probably your grandma and grandpa. They would be actually going to the bank diligently to check their balance. They will give the passbook, and then they'll put the entries, and then they'll get back. And right now it happens even today morning I have to drop my father to an EB office, saying that that he wants to pay the bill, but the bill can be paid online. But he wants to burn his time, and very specifically that is why he wants to spend some 1 hour, and he very purposefully going to the EB office, giving the EB card, and then paying the bill. So now sitting in one place, you can either pay your bills, you can do your fund transfers, you can get loans, and then you can actually search for colleges. So these were not there in the past, right? That's the evolution of the digitalization where we are right now, and it still have one way to go. That's to just go on top. It can never come down. So now, what are the technical opportunities what you have in terms of the data analysts and scientists? So that is where I was just highlighting to you even in the past. Now, if there is any specific ad to be displayed to you, now how many people are watching this specific ad? What is their interest? Based on the interest, what is the ad that we have to display to them? all these things would be done through your data analysis and your artificial intelligence and machine learning. And then big data specialist. Now these are the key areas where you can identify your very good job opportunities. And your digital marketing and strategy, just now we spoke about how it comes in YouTube. And your process automation specialist, because most of the activity have right now become very automated. Either if you're going to validate something, or see, even the roti, making rotis have become automated, making dosas have become automated. And how the especially business development professionals, the opportunities for business development professionals, what do you mean? Now whenever there is a specific activity to be done, what is the value of business that we can see it, and how we can groom it, and what is the benefit that I can get it from that business. So all these activities can be done through your by the business development professionals. And digital transformation specialists. Now if you see in the past, there used to be the huge bunch of ledgers would be maintained by the banks, or even by most of the the state, by especially the state department. Right now everything has been automated, so if you just in a touch of a button, we all will come to know, I mean the bank manager will come to know what is his total accounts, what is his overall balance, what is his net balance. So everything will be under one particular umbrella, right? So that is where your digital transformation specialist comes into place. And then your information security analyst. So what do you mean by information security analyst? The more automation or the more digitalization that what we do, the same level of security threats is what you have. So we actually hear about, people are hacking the OTP, people are hacking the phones, and then they are doing the transaction. So there is a specific study that it can actually, which actually teaches about how security threats can be avoided. And then software and application developers. So that is something which I needless to say. So whatever which is there in the trend 10 years before, it has been slowly getting evolved. And so whatever which is latest in the market, it could be a Java, your C++. And then you have a lot of vast opportunity in testing. And then if you don't I really don't want to get into the technical part, you can still focus upon like what I said as a business analyst and so on. And there is a lot of things which can do as a specialist. And moreover, every 2 to 3 years there is a new technology which comes in. So it could be a big data, blockchain. So now students, one thing what I would like to tell you, of course you spend a lot of time, especially in your entertainment activities, especially going for searching a web series and so on. But identify some time. So I won't say spend your complete time for the whole week and try to do it, but specify or set a specific time and do something to your career growth. And that is most important for you, which will really help to think through in that particular way. And so what are the jobs which are going away from it? So there are no more data entry clerks, no more administrative officers, no more accounting people or payroll clerks. There are no more auditors which are coming in. And so factory workers, I mean, since most of the things are getting automated, your manual works comes down. Your business services and administrator managers are going out. Your your client service and support becomes more important. And general and operations manager, those are getting out. And mechanics and machinery repairers are going out. And material recording and stock keeping clerks are going out. So now you can see almost 97 million opportunity are being created, and almost 85 million opportunities are going away. So which means you still have a lot of things that you can focus upon. So the key takeaway for you, you can actually pick it up what by these 10 items, either in terms of your data analysis, your AI and machine learning, so big data specialist, and being a software and application programming, and you can actually go for places. And then what do you mean by non-technical skills? Your communication is very, very important. Your communication is, when you say about your communication, is very, very important. It doesn't mean that you have to use a very, very specific communication to do it. You don't need to be very swagger. I mean, very swanky in your communication, or trying to do it. Even if you take an example of one of the speeches by Mr. Abdul Kalam, his communication will not be so fluent, his grammar may not be fluent, but the message what he tries to convey, it's one of the best messages what he can get. So point is, if you are able to communicate the message what you have in a clear manner. Now when I say about the clear manner, you should understand saying that the communication, the message what you're trying to send it across to other people are very clear in a very simple terms. If it is not simple, which means you didn't understand it properly. Then your time management. So when someone is saying that it has to be done on time, you have to ensure saying that you're being there on time. And unfortunately, like today morning, our Carmichael madam said that I'm supposed to join by 10:45. I was just trying, within 10:47, it is not the right way, right? Unfortunately, I'm supposed to join by 10:45, but somehow it is getting delayed. I'm getting panic. So the reason why it is, unless you make it on time, it is not the right way for something to be done. So then especially your leadership and your personal skills, how to speak in a group, how to speak, it is, so until you complete your college, nothing would be more prominent to you. But once you start getting into a professional job, so then you may need to have interaction with other people. You have to start speaking to others, and at that point of time, it will be very difficult for you to actually get along with people. So now, the way how you are supposed to communicate. See, for sure, being in an office or working in IT industry, I can guarantee you, tell you that it is more like playing big boss at office. It will be There'll be 10 different people in front of you. Now, at that point of time, you cannot say that, oh no, I don't like this particular person, or probably this particular person is very hard to deal with it. There will be different versions of people. You should have the aspect, or you should have the thought process. How do you handle all these 10 different people? See, not everyone can be the same, right? You should think in that particular way and see how you can actually get through it. And then you have to focus on flexibility and your teamwork. When I say about flexibility, see, right now it is not, the whole things have changed. Previously it used to happen in such a way, people used to wake up by morning in the 7 6 a.m. They used to complete all their activities by 7 7:30. They used to take the breakfast by 8. They start going to office by 9. They will be back home by 5. And then they will do the dinner by 6 6:30 to 7. By 7:30 to 8, you will close down the shop. They'll get back to bed. Now, by in any means, it is something which I am facing it as well. We cannot close the shop by 11 or 12. Either you get your office calls, or either you have your own personal things to be done. So now, that is the new way of things, how things have been evolved. Now I cannot say that I am going to shut down the shop, because our business actually start only after 6:30. And most, either in terms of the calls what do we speak, or in terms of any communication what we do with the customer. So now all these things used to be in part of it, right? So that's how things have been evolved. And what do you mean by soft skills? Your patience is most important. You have to motivate yourself. For example, if something which is not working out, don't buckle down. When people actually say, when people, you are not supposed to look after others and say that, okay, no, so she's getting a job, why I'm not getting a job? They are doing it better in the exams, or getting good marks in the exams, why I'm not getting it? They are speaking good English, why I'm not speaking it? That should not be the case. All you have to do is, what is your capability, what is your capacity, and what is your potential. So there will be a unique factor within you. Identify that and nurture it. That will drive you, and that can be only be driven if you have been an active listener. And the last point, it's a very important point for you. It's the attitude is a ticket to success. Now, if you don't have the right attitude at any given point of time, you can excel wherever you want, but that will not take you to the next level. So now, why attitude is important? First thing, whenever you try to communicate something, the first thing what you say, okay, boss, stop it. I know what I'm doing. But let me tell you one important thing, guys. Your weakness of attitude becomes your weakness of a character. So now, whenever your attitude is not straight, whenever your attitude it's so rigid, or whenever there is something you think this is, it is whatever I do is right, that will not help you to actually think through think through what the others are thinking. So that is the point of time that you have to be very specific in understanding what is others want. Probably how you need to fine tune yourself so that you have a better things to do. And so why I say attitude is important, like if you take some immigrants who are coming, who are working in south, you go to a hotel in Chennai, you will find a lot of people who are actually came from North India are working here. You go for any particular construction place in Chennai, you will find a lot of immigrants who are coming from either from Bihar, UP, they'll be working here. And you go to any place, like either it could be a fast food or either it could be a deliverables. There are a lot of people who are coming from there to here and then try to do it. Reason behind, so the thought process for them, they are very conscious enough. At the same time, like they have the thought process that they have to work very hard, and they are so dedicated to get the job done. Now that is when, like especially like whenever there are, even though if there are in the industrial market or the manufacturing industry which has been focused right now, they always focus upon people to come all the way from north so that they can come down here and then they can support them. So that is where key things comes into place. Now the focus should be why why how we can make ourselves better so that we can compete with the overall market. And the only way what you can do it, you have to show the right attitude to stay on top of the market. And based on all these particular factors, what to do, where you have to start. See, you have to start, probably I would say that you can start right now or right away, because time will actually not wait for anyone. So now normally we used to keep a resolution, okay, let January 1 come, then we can start this. So January 1 will be always coming year by year, but you can start it right away. So now first thing what you have to do, identify your strength and identify your weakness. What is your strength? What is your creativity? What is your versatility? There will be a lot of strengths what you may have. The flexibility, your focus, and then your initiative. At the same time, your weakness should not be something which is being defined based on what others say. Your weakness should be something what you have identified. You should know what exactly your weakness are before someone says this is your weakness is all about. And then if you are very much detailed, either if your public speaking skills is it's not good, your presentation skills is not good, it is not a great problem at all you have to do is you have to practice and you have to start doing it. Because if you want to lead a career, if you want to be a professional, either irrespective of either you are going to getting into IT or you are going to get into any other particular department, you have to ensure saying that you are improving. So how you will ensure that you are improving? You have to identify from last year to this year, every 6 months or 1 year, how you are improved, either in terms of communication or either in terms of your career growth or either in terms of your role or either in terms of your promotion. So now if you're there in the same place, then there is something wrong. You have to see where exactly you're going wrong. So this has to be done as a lifelong. So when you say about a lifelong activity, why you have to keep on learning? So until if you are not a lifelong learner, it will being a lifelong learner, it will nurture your curious mind, it will open the minds and increase your wisdom, and at the same time it increases your self-confidence, and it also increases your skills. Those who already have it will improve the skills. So unless if you're a lifelong learner, it will not really help you to go into to better yourself to the next level. And one of the women achievers which I really love about this particular woman, I think maybe or may not be you may not be aware of it. She is Indra Nui, and she is the board of directors currently for Amazon, and she studied here in Madras Christian College, and she did her MBA in IIM Calcutta, and then she moved on to US, and she drove the Pepsi company, that is whatever the Lay's chips what do you eat right now, or the Pepsi or the Tropicana juices what do you drink. All this have been a thought process by her, and she was the CEO, and she was the first female CEO of PepsiCo, and she ran that company for almost 15 years and with massive profit. And she hailed from Chennai, guys. So let's be very clear. So now the point is, if you think no, this is not something for me, this is not something which I still have a long way to go, and she's just like a same person like you. And if you think this is something which is out of your reach, I'll give you some prime example. So this girl, Anita Samuel, and her father is a cab driver in the same company what I work, and she's from the same company, and she's been a consistent performer in the last 2 years. And the other person what you have here is Leelavati. Her father is a bus booking agent. So now if you see, like, in every omnibus, in front of the omnibus, people used to shout saying that, like, to go on a specific place, either Chidambaram, Chirgadi, like, they'll be keep on shouting, right? And she's a daughter of that particular person. And if you see, both are there, both of these girls are in my team, and these two are one of the brightest kids, or probably the brightest professionals which I have come across. And especially to say about this girl called Anita, almost for 8 months after post COVID, not even a single day that includes a Saturday, Sunday, she has taken a leave. She worked so hard, and she's been a consistent performer in the last 2 years. And similarly for this girl as well. So now these are some of the prime examples what I can give from my team itself. And so it's all in your hand. So you have digitalization which has been evolved over a period of time. At the same time, you have a lot of opportunities, and people like me, actually we are open to give opportunities to people who are really doing well. And it's all up to you how you are going to take it up. And so why I think women are the greatest asset of being the leaders, because they know how to do a work life balance. They are always empathetic about people, and they are great listeners. And for example, like, if my wife used to say out of 10 items to buy, for sure I know that I will remember only 4. The remaining 6 I will forget. But whereas if I whatever my boss says in the office, out of 10 items, all the 10 will be there in my mind. So that is the that's how the design is. And so the female are the one who actually nurture others, and they can actually focus on the teamwork. They are the one who can motivate. See, for example, my boss is a female, and she's the delivery head of this or delivery head for the company. And if you can, I will give you an example, guys. In the last 2 years, she's a boss. I mean she's one of the person, she's one of the key persons in the organization. In the last 2 years, since due to COVID, she has to take care of the family. She has to clean the house. She has to clean the vessels, and she has to ensure saying that her restrooms are being cleaned, because there is no other person who can do it. And she also takes care of the business, like, what she's running, and maintaining people like me. And then she also runs the whole company under her control. Now she cannot go and say to the family saying that, oh, you know what, I am the boss of this company, and I cannot do all this stuff. And at the end of the day, she does it, and she also does both the things. She does the family work, and she does her professional work as well. And that is how you have to be. And they handle crisis situation very well, and they check their egos, and they are very highly emotional intelligence, and they always lead by an example. And you can defy all the odds, until if your focus is more about what exactly you are planning to achieve. And so that's about it in my presentation, and I would like to take some more questions or anything which is related to it. Yeah, Carmel, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
That was an interesting topic. That was an interesting topic you covered on for us. Thanks for sharing your knowledge regarding technical side. And I have few questions. I'm Aishwarya, the representative of second year PSM.
Yeah,
I
actually.
have a question to ask. From the point of recruiters side, to learning in online, would it be a barrier? Since we have no practice in hands, would it be a barrier?
Not at all. Not at all. Because see, unless you have the skills and knowledge, it has nothing to do with either you
Still,
learn
knowledge
online.
comes from hands-on practice. Does it?
No, very true, very true. I agree with you. But at the same time, see, even as a matter of fact, I'll give an example. So yesterday we are supposed to meet a client, and we went to office, and so it was just a very very small team. Like, only 5 people went to office, and then we tried to do the interaction. And I can guaranteedly tell you that the way, I mean, the output what we got from that meeting, it can never happen through a virtual meeting. It is not possible. See, of course, your virtual meeting will not have the same impact as a physical meeting. See, just give an example. No, like you are meeting your friends through WhatsApp, you can call through video phones, everything can be done, but the same feeling will not be. I mean, the feeling would be entirely different. Like if you're going to meet them physically, so that clause would be always there, but that will not be a barrier. So that cannot be a barrier at all, because at the end of the day, the knowledge what you gain entirely matters. But having said that, that will not stop you to take you to the next level or to learn what the what the actual subject is all about.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
No problem. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, sir. It was really a great session, sir.
तो और कुछ questions नहीं है?
Now I request Ms. Poona Prabha to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. The essence of all beautiful art is gratitude. I deem it a great honor to propose the oath of thanks to all who have helped us in making this Prism 2021 event such a resounding success. First of all, I would like to propose hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Madan Ravinder, for gracing today's event. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking address about the job opportunity, which is a much needed topic which need to be addressed during this pandemic. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our management and principal madam for giving us an opportunity to organize the event. I would like to thank our beloved HOD, Dr. Karmugal ma'am, for her moral support and guidance. I'm happy to express my gratitude to the event coordinators for making this event a great success. I would like to thank all the participants who are participating and making this event more success. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation.
I heartily welcome all the participants from the various departments. The essential thing is not conquering, but fighting well. Now, I wish all the participants a very fruitful time ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Karmul ma'am, can I disconnect?
So thank you so much, sir, for your
No problem, madam.